talking? All right. Okay, so we're not going to be talking right now. Dad's going to be reading, okay?
No.
Okay, no more. Dad's going to be reading. After that, after Dad's done reading, if you want to talk in the microphone to your Uncle Dave, and we might as well call him Uncle Justin, then he's Justin is also a brother of mine that you can you could talk to them after I'm done reading, okay? But I'll leave the microphone. All right. David, Justin, you guys there, my friends? That's a negative. I think they're AFK. Cool. All right. Genesis chapter 3, verse 4 to 13. Where are you? I'm going to pray. King Jesus, you're amazing. Thank you for your death and resurrection. We just declare allegiance to you, for you're a good God. In our false name. Amen. Genesis chapter 3, 4 to 13. Where are you? All right. Where are you? The snake said to the woman, you will not die at all, because God knows that on the day you eat of it, your eyes will open and you'll be like God, knowing good and bad. The woman saw that the tree was good to eat and that it was a delight to the eyes. And the tree was desirable for giving insight. So she took of its fruit and ate, and also gave some to her man, and he ate. The eyes of the... Good job. Yep, but right here it says her man. I'm reading it. Okay, I need you to not interrupt, okay? The eyes of the two of them opened, they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves loincloths. They heard the sound of Yahweh God walking about in the garden in the breezy time of the day. So the man and his woman hid from Yahweh God in the midst of the trees in the garden. Yahweh God called to the man and said to him, where are you? He said, I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. Yahweh God said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? The man said, the woman you put beside me, she gave to me from the tree, and I ate. Yahweh God said to the woman, what is this that you have done? The woman said, the snake, it deceived me, and I ate. So remember that thing we're listening to, like the difference between Adam and Eve and Solomon? Because Solomon, so they seized wisdom on their own, while Solomon asked. It's like even in the ways that we try to take wisdom determines the outcome of the wisdom. Nice. All right, you ready? Okay.
No.
Okay, Dad's going to continue reading. I can resist everything except temptation. I am riding on Black Friday, the day. Here, I'll move like this. I'm riding on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving in the United States. It's the greatest shopping day of the year. Popularly assumed to be called by that name because it's when stores hope to get their profits into the black. People have been quarreling all night for bargains and fighting each other in the aisles over them. Indeed, after typing that sentence, I read that a hypermarket worker on Long Island was trampled to death by shoppers. Even the intellectual newspapers have carried articles on shopping strategy for today. People have looked and fancied and taken. The snakes come back immediately for round 2, questioning God's goodwill and generosity in more radical fashion. The snake comes back immediately for round 2, questioning God's goodwill and generosity in more radical fashion. Simply contradicting what God said would follow from disobedience, and adding that anyway, it was jealousy that made God deny people access to the good and bad knowledge tree. Having this knowledge will make them like God. The snake is half right. They will not die when they eat from the tree, and they will be like God. The snake spells out the implication of the prohibition, but react to them differently. Please don't move that, okay? It is said that the difference between God and us is that God never thinks. He is us. Genesis suggests some nuancing of that insight. God doesn't mind sharing with us the divine life and the divine image, and thus the divine responsibility for the world. And eventually God will become one of us. Who do you think that is? Jesus! Joanne Osborne's song asks, what if God was one of us? just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. That is what God became. Yet the distinction between God and us still needs preserving. God is not our buddy. The relationship between us and God is not egalitarian, it is hierarchical. You know what egalitarian means? Yeah, like equal level. Hierarchical, you know what that is? Yeah, so like king, servant. We are not the same. The relationship between us and God is not egalitarian, it is hierarchical. God is God and Lord. God calls the shots. When God decides to do so, God gives the order. God gives the orders. Pulling back from the good and bad knowledge tree will be a sign of Adam and Eve's recognizing this. Wouldn't you like to set that aside and become godlike? The snake asked. Like a shopaholic, Eve now uses her own eyes and her own imagination. Second time around in her conversation with the snake, she is a pushover. Though it is thus not simply the snake's argument that convinced her. Having tasted the fruit, she gives some to Adam. But what was Adam doing while Eve was having her seminar with the snake? Was he napping? Did he have nothing to say, even though he was the one whom we know God had actually addressed concerning the tree? If Eve is guilty by her action, Adam is guilty by his inaction and cooperation. When they eat the fruit, if Eve is guilty by her action, Adam is guilty by his inaction and cooperation. Is that reality by doing nothing you could still be considered guilty? When they eat the fruit, their eyes indeed open, but this does not bring the result the snake promised. They do gain the experience of deciding between good and bad, but doing so involves doing the opposite to what God said. So they do not gain anything like true wisdom. They start off as naive, simply people, but when they decline to live by the one constraint God placed on them, they become not mature and wise people, but stupid fools. They know they have exposed themselves, so they try 2 ways to hide. Neither of them very successful. We are familiar with the idea that a fig leaf or 2 is not much by way of covering, though fig leaves are quite large, up to 9 inches or so long and wide. So they made the wisest choice they could. When they hear God coming, they also try to hide in the trees. It's late afternoon. In the Middle East, this can be when you get an ocean breeze. And after the heat of the day, it becomes more pleasant to be outside. Genesis will speak of Enoch and Noah walking about with God. It suggests a relaxed friendship. Similarly, it looks as if God expects to be able to enjoy a relaxed walk with Adam and Eve. This might seem a naive anthropomorphism. Genesis 3 pictures God as human-shaped, like a real human being going for a walk in the afternoon. One might contrast this description with the more sophisticated imagery of Genesis 1, where God is more transparent. But it is naive to think we can do without anthropomorphism when we speak of God. There is not much we can say about God literally, except that God is holy. And speaking of God, we are dependent on using imagery from our experience. Because human beings are made in God's image, we can thus take the risk of using human images to describe God. Genesis 1 uses human images and picturing God as speaking, seeing, and naming. Genesis 3 does so not more vividly in picturing God out for a walk and wishing Adam and Eve were there. But they are hiding. And God calls out, "Where are you?" Perhaps God knows, but wants to give them a chance to come out hiding voluntarily. Or perhaps God wills not to know and will let them stay hidden if they choose. The subsequent question about whether they have eaten from the tree does make it look as if these are genuine questions. Julia Bolden has Eve hiding in the kitchen, Adam hiding upstairs under the bed, and God climbing the stairs. Clump, clump, clump. And this picture has a children's audience panicking about mother or father discovering them. It is the moment when fear enters into a relationship between humanity and God. There's a right kind of fear in that relationship. The difference between, and that's so interesting because, Proverbs talks about the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Here, again, they're having fear after compromising. But if we get fear at the very start, that's when we start in wisdom. And good wisdom, Tov wisdom. There's a kind of right fear in that relationship. The difference between us and God makes fear in the sense of reverence and the appropriate aspect of our relationship with God. But we were never supposed to be afraid of the one who wants to go for a walk with us. That's such a good point. That's such a good. I want to re-say that. But we were never supposed to be afraid of the one who wants to go for a walk with us. Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? Adam sidesteps directly answering the question and starts off by making an excuse. Blame someone else. That's the human instinct. If possible, blame the person who is accusing you and blame someone else. Adam managed this. It is God's fault and Eve's fault, not Adam's fault. Humanity's relationship with God is not the only relationship affected by taking the fruit when God forbade it. Whereas Adam has said, this is it. He now speaks to Eve very differently. In my Bible, the woman you put beside me, she gave to me from the tree, is just across the page from that earlier exclamation. It is a grievous contrast, of course, as Adam implies in his own way. This is not the moment when the relationship got messed up. That happened when Eve was having her seminar and Adam was napping. God has another grieved question, this one for Eve. What is this that you have done? The full answer has creation-long implications. In the short term, as Adam blamed Eve, so Eve blames that other strange creature. Humanity's relationship with the natural world is also messed up. That too has started when the snake spoke and Eve listened. She let herself be deceived. But that is not her way of putting it. Genesis chapter 3, verse 14 to 68, the pain of motherhood. Yahweh God said to the snake, because you have done this, you are cursed. Away from all the cattle and the creatures of the wild. On your stomach you will move, and dirt you will eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will hit you on the head, and you will hit him on the heel. To the woman he said, I will make very great your painfulness in connection with pregnancy. In pain you'll bear children. There is the proto-evangelion. You see that promise? The offspring's crushing the head of the serpent. Who's the snake crusher be? Who's the snake crusher? Jesus, yeah. I wrote an email to someone this week and had an astonishing reply, which... You want me to just talk softer? I wrote an email to someone this week and had an astonishing reply, which after the main part of the message went on, oh, by the way... Actually, it didn't literally say that, but that is how it came across. Because the news that followed in the incidental extra paragraph had nothing to do with the matter I had written about. We have been going through in vitro fertilization. We had the embryos inserted this morning. We are praying they will implant, and that the pregnancy test in 11 and 15 days go well. I knew the couple had been unable to have a baby, but I didn't know they were going next with this question. Oh, wow, I replied. This week I have also finished reading a novel called Slam by Nick Hornby, in which he writes as if he were a 16-year-old boy who accidentally gets his girlfriend pregnant and is relating the stress and trouble that follows. One way or another, getting pregnant is inclined to be quite a trauma. It's all very different from what God had in mind in creating humanity, male and female, so they might master the earth and serve the garden. And apparently in all issues from Adam and Eve, ill-advised ignoring of God's bidding. But first, God talks to the snake. God apparently accepts Eve's testimony and asks the snake no questions. God's words constitute a horrible reversal of words God uttered earlier. In Genesis 1, God had blessed the first created beings. Snakes were not mentioned there, but neither were cattle. All right. In Genesis 1, hey. God has blessed the first created beings. Snakes were not mentioned there, but neither were cattle and the animals of the wild, so this is hardly significant. It was Friday when the story's focus was on humanity. Now one of these creatures is cursed. Whereas blessing means being fruitful, experiencing fulfillment, and knowing fullness of life, Curse means being fruitless, experiencing disappointment, and finding oneself in the realm of death. So, what's blessing? It's fruitfulness. And what's curse? Death, the opposite. Fruitlessness. Is God simply saying what will happen, or declaring what should happen, or making it happen? In different contexts, any of these connections can apply to describing something or someone as cursed. God will go on to speak in the first person, I will make very great. So Genesis is not concerned to dissociate God from the punitive results of human disobedience. I make peace and I create trouble, God will say later in Isaiah. The Bible is tough-minded in the way it thinks of God and God's sovereignty. So maybe God is both saying what will happen and making it happen. On the other hand, it is striking that God does not say, I curse you. And it is typical of the Bible to be more ready to talk about God's blessing than about God's cursing. Translations often have the snake cursed more than any other creature, but that implies that the rest of the creatures are also cursed. It seems odd and not in keeping with the attitude of the Old Testament elsewhere. When applied to Cain and Genesis 4, the expression means cursed and driven away from. This meaning makes sense here. You wonder why the Middle Eastern snakes live away from the areas where other animals live and dry desert places and crawl about and look as if they eat dirt. Here is the answer. Remember again, this is a parable. In Julia Bolden's version, the story explains why parrots live in cages. And you wonder why there should be such mutual animosity between snakes and human beings. So that snakes are among the creatures human beings most fear. Here is the answer. Once you have identified the snake with Satan, it is natural to see Eve's offspring, who ultimately hits the snake on the head, gets bitten on the heel, as Jesus. Irenaeus, Bishop of Lyons, 150 years after Christ, connected the dots like that, and it became a standard way to understand this passage. Luther thus called it the first gospel proclamation. It's a neat idea, but no one thought of interpreting the passage this way until well after Jesus' day. And this delay reflects the fact that this interpretation has nothing to do with what Genesis means. Genesis is talking about the troublesome and dangerous way snakes and human beings are dangerous to one another. A concrete example of the disturbed relationship between humanity and the animate world. We were supposed to be in charge of the animate world, to hold sway over it, to make it work, and thus Adam was the one who gave the creatures their names. But instead of exercising authority over it, so instead of exercising authority over the animals, Broheim, what happened? They rule over us. Adam and Eve let it exercise control over them. And instead of the creatures of the sixth day living harmoniously together, they came to live at odds. Genesis goes on to speak of another kind of groaning and grieving, the kind of grieving that our friends who could not have children have been doing. The implants did not work. When God comes to Eve, there is no doubt Genesis speaks about something God wills and not simply foretells. I will make very great. Motherhood was a distinctive thing woman was created for. It was not the only thing, and motherhood was not opposed to work or other activities. But having children was the one thing Adam could not do. Eve alone could be a help to him in this. Now that unique vocation is to be a source of pain. The words for pain and painfulness and related words are not ones the Old Testament elsewhere uses for the physical pain of childbirth. And maybe an Israelite could work out, as we can, that the stretching involved in giving birth could never have been achieved without considerable physical pain, unless we presuppose that woman's anatomy and physiology were originally very different. Those words for pain elsewhere commonly denote emotional pain, not just physical pain. When the verb feel pain first appears, it describes God's feeling about the way the world has turned out in Genesis 6:6. And so here we're hearing physical pain, but it also is emotional pain. Because here we hear Genesis 6:6, where Yahweh is not actually physically in pain, but he feels pain about the way the world gets this, just absolute madness. Genesis provides many examples of how getting pregnant is a painful business to people such as Sarah, Hagar, Rebecca, and Rachel, as it has been for my two friends. And Eve's own story will illustrate the pain involved in bearing children. We'll soon be reading of her first son killing her second son. The King James Bible translates both these words sorrow. Can one imagine a greater sorrow than having one of the children you bore kill another of the children you bore? All right, the last section. It looks like I hear I see David's microphone going, but I'm actually not. Test, 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 test. There we go. Now I can hear you. The microphone's had to pop. Oh, actually, he's picking up a TV. That's what he's doing. He's actually not. He's actually not talking. Okay. All right. Last section. All right, B. After this section, we can do media. Okay. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16b. To love and to cherish, to desire and to dominate. Towards your man, you will be. Towards your man will be your desire, but he is the rule over you. So, something to note, what she'll definitely talk about. And I am very thankful that John Goldingay takes time to hash this out. Because people have used this text to dominate, men have used this text to dominate over women. But you're going to see that this is just an outcome of the fall. There is a Jewish story about the first human couple. Often such a Jewish midrash takes up a puzzling aspect of the biblical text and seeks to explain it or imagine something it might imply, using other scriptural material or material from elsewhere. In this case, the story takes up that odd fact that Genesis 1 tells us about the origin of the first couple, and then at the first sight. Genesis 2 seems to tell us about the origin of another couple. In the Midrash, Adam's original wife was called Lilith. The name comes from another puzzling passage in Isaiah 34. Some translations have night creature or night demon there. And outside the Bible, there are various stories about such a creature. Like Adam and with Adam, Lilith was made directly from the dirt, because she was equal to Adam in every way. Having been made by God out of the same raw material and on the same day as her husband, she insisted on enjoying equal footing with him in the garden. She shared in labor and in its reward and worked side by side with him in tending the garden. She also expected to be his equal in lovemaking, sometimes lying on top of him, sometimes beneath him. Were they not equal partners? But this was all too much for Adam, and he complained to God. Is this why I have been created, to share everything with her? When I asked for a companion, I did not mean this. When Lilith heard Adam's complaint, she decided to leave the garden and make a new home for herself far away. Immediately, Adam was sorry he had driven her away, and once more he cried out to God, "My wife has deserted me. I am all alone again." But Lilith would not come back on Adam's terms, so out of compassion for him and his loneliness, God made him a new wife, who was created from one of his ribs, and that was Eve. Well, weird Jewish story. Okay. Towards your man will be your desire, but he is the rule over you. They are some of the most poignant, sad words in Scripture. Here is a relationship in which two people were designed to stand together and fulfill a calling from God to master the earth and serve the garden. But they have been reduced to arguing about whose fault it is that things have gone wrong, and it is always going to be like this, God says. There are several ways of understanding the words about desire and rule, all having some truth in them. The Lilith story implies God is referring to the sexual partnership between the man and woman, which will now become unequal. Or the words could imply that a wife will have a longing to make love with her husband, but he will just want to impose himself on her. That is true enough in many marriages, or it could imply that her own desire will be something more like lust. She'll mainly want it, and he'll be mainly interested in imposing himself on her. But the reference in Genesis to ruling sounds more general than merely the taking of sexual initiatives or the imposing of sexual demands. As Derek Kinder puts it in his commentary, Genesis, to love and to cherish becomes to desire and to dominate. We have noted that the two creation stories contain no pointers towards male headship, in the sense that men or husbands are supposed to exercise authority or leadership over women or wives. But the audience in Genesis knew that patriarchy was a reality of life. Genesis here tells them how this came to be. Male authority or domination was not God's design, but a consequence of a breakdown relationship between humanity and God, between humanity and the animal world, and between human beings and one another. From now on, the Bible will assume the reality of patriarchy and of male headship. But it begins by knowing that this came about only as a result of those various breakdowns of relationships. It is a particular expression of a more general point. There was no structure of authority that was designed to obtain among human beings. But the lack of structure of authority has not worked, and will work even less well from now on. The irony is that structures of authority can bring order, but usually they also issue in corruption and oppression, as is evident when one looks at the way government works. While Genesis does not quite say that God wills the introduction of patriarchy, this statement comes in the context of declaration about what God wills. I'll make very great. On the other hand, this hardly implies that we simply have to live with it. While Genesis has told us of God's intention that as a result of human sinfulness, getting pregnant and being a mother should be painful, we do not infer that we should do nothing to assume the difficulties of getting pregnant or the consequences of breakdowns in relation between mothers and children. I assume that likewise we are free to work against patriarchy in the name of God's creation intent. But we'll also be realistic about how deep rooted our patriarchal instincts, which experience also indicates. 2 or 3 years ago, a student who was married to another student came to see me. It was Maundy Thursday. I remember the day before Good Friday, the day of the Last Supper and of Jesus washing people's feet. These two were both people hoping to be pastors, but the student came to see me because she needed to talk to someone about the way her husband kept hitting her. Although in theory he supported her seeking to be ordained and thus supported the idea that she had a call to exercise leadership in the church. In the context of their marriage, he couldn't cope with her wanting to assert herself and not just accept everything he said. Women wanting to be themselves and men wanting to rule is a reality in the church and in the ministry as is elsewhere. I'm going to pray and we can start, okay, my friend? And then we can be on until we got to go. King Jesus, your home for amazing. Thank you for the writings of the ancients and how you show that this is how not supposed to be. It was supposed to be working together, gardening together, living for each other, and ruling over the animals for their blessing, and also in line with our blessing. And we're supposed to be fruitful, but because of fall, this is not the case. And in my life and everyone's lives that we know and we talk to, especially people who have been grievely injustice by terrible systems, government, social, family, we take this moment to, however that looks, and us calling that out, dying for the other as clingers of you, King Jesus, because you were killed by the system. You were killed by broken relationship and humanity. And we look to you, Jesus, as the truly human one, where we can live life as the kingdom of heaven is now, where people are loved and cherished. Wonderful awesome name. Amen. All right, friend, we can start.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I said I was back, but I guess you didn't hear me say that.
I didn't hear you, but welcome back. Oh, that looks ugly. The red's a very ugly block.
I guess their leaves and do that. Just
How's life? How's life, Houston?
it is very much life.
So,
How about you?
well, with traveling, with with the state now with I've actually been looking into firewall things.
Firewall things?
Well, for when we go overseas, I'll start utilizing it here very soon. Start figuring that kind of stuff out. What I'm saying is, for here and overseas, I got a firewall router. You know what that is?
A firewall A router?
Yeah, follow A.
Or
Yeah, router.
is that like a brand or?
Yeah, it's a brand name. They make their own routers.
Also, David, if you're saying anything, can't hear you. I do.
I do
Oh,
see
it's
him
muted.
moving. Ah,
So the brand is Firewall A.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's cool is something I also learned. I'm going to need to start using when I start traveling is you can also, and like, this is something I learned like within the last couple weeks as I'm looking on how to travel secure and how to live overseas secure. Because since I will be streaming with technology in a lot more poor areas, just like the opportunity for, especially in, being in on the Asian side, is the opportunity of hackers and things like that are just a lot more prevalent. Like, I learned that you could
I
actually,
don't know. It's about the same prevalence as here, all things considered.
but yeah, so I actually like learned that you could actually like host your own VPN. That was a
Yeah,
new
you
thing.
can do that.
That was a new thing learning.
It's not super common. Of course, you have to actually set it up, and then
Yeah, just when we, so
you'd
when
have to have your own device always active over on this side.
yeah, so what's cool is when we get to Thailand, like, I'll have my own fiber connection. So then I'll have my firewall modem there. And then I could always have it. I could have it pretty much be ready for like literally be hosting my VPN there. And so whenever we travel and I need to connect, I could always just connect to that.
Assuming they're not outlawed over there.
It's not outlawed in Thailand. It's not China. And Thailand,
Well, given how much the U.S. has been trying to crack down on VPNs and various other countries.
it's going to be harder to crack down on. It's going to be hard to crack down on a private VPN than on a site-to-site VPN.
But frankly, I don't think the government is going to be able to really crack down on VPNs.
Yeah,
Y- A lot
you
of
just have
companies
to.
use them.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm so slow. I switched out some of my muscles, and I'm so slow now.
Are you golemified?
No, I just have. Yeah, I've been running with a lot of shifting leaves, replacing both my digestive system and a lot of my muscles with them. That's why my attack power was so bad. But I've decided to switch back to actually having attack power for now. But I'm so slow.
He got used to speed and carnation.
I did.
Carnate.
I have
The
come to a
wood.
decision.
So what's the rules with the trees here? I know like the wheat and meat, like usually you want to plant.
Cut them down, replant them.
Okay. So if I get
Yeah.
any saplings when cutting them down, just plant them back kind of ordeal?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. you'll usually need to come back for a second pass after a little bit to scoop up the various saplings that fell from the decaying leaves. But
Hi, Corey.
Hello. Oh, sorry. What's going on here? Is that bamboo?
That is indeed bamboo.
Is that you to contain? Because bamboo is actually like a weed. Does it actually grow like a weed in
No,
this game? Because in like,
come over
No,
here. I'll show you what
i-
I'm working on.
in this game, it just continues to grow straight up pretty much indefinitely. I don't I don't know if it ever actually stops.
Well, I was working on this. Oh wait, it's constant. Break that.
I am now going to experiment
that's
to
a
see if I
fun
can.
automation system. Dude, Justin got some big brains.
I'm going to see if I can achieve additional speed through a cyclical abuse of a couple of my
Well, if
systems.
you want sticks, well, you just gotta wait for it to harvest itself. She'll have sticks.
Even harvests itself. That is cool.
Well, I don't have anything to pick any of the bamboo up yet. But,
So large chests, are they? Can they also be like bronzified, goldenfied, or is it just basic chests that get?
they're only
Unfortunately,
basic chests, yeah.
the yeah, the metallic chests are locked to being small sized.
Okay.
So, Justin,
It depends on
since
the mod.
since you have a way to break the break the crops, um, have you considered using armor stands with an attractive chest piece?
That would be interesting. I was gonna use a hopper minecart underneath it, but
Oh, that would do the trick too.
I think actual crops it would be a lot more entertaining to do the armor attractive.
So, axe of course is great for wood, and I've heard it's also a good weapon. Um, there's like some good enchantments I should keep an eye out for my axe.
Um, let's see. So, axes, I believe, have access to sharpness. They also have access to most of my damage enchantments, most notably rampage.
Oh, that's the one
Um,
you do more damage as you kill things.
yeah, that's the one that gives you kill streaks. Um,
Kill streak.
So,
Nate.
would it be right to say that an axe is more for single target damage, while a sword will be more for group damage?
yes. It's also worth noting that axes get um have access to I I believe it's despoiling. Shoot, I'm forgetting the name. Um, yes, you get despoiling, which gosh, actually, just give me a second. I'm going to double check something. I think I might be getting some stuff mixed up.
Sure. You'll just have to look
It,
in my
it,
chest.
it gets access to a looting enchantment that scales based on overkill.
Oh, really?
No, right, it's scalping. Specifically, scalping makes it so that whenever you damage a target, there's a chance of it dropping things that would otherwise be indestructible based on the percentage health that you dealt that with that hit.
Hmm.
So, for example, if the enemy had 10 hearts of health and you hit it with an axe for 6 hearts, it would have a 60% chance of dropping stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. You can take all the magma cream you want.
But if you then hit that same thing again for another 6 hearts of damage, there would be another 60% chance of such drops, even though it only had 4 hearts left.
Hmm. Okay. That sounds like a really good enchantment. Especially
It's a fun
since
one.
so I'm just thinking I might just build my sword for more AoE damage, and then have my axe be built towards then thusly single target
Right.
damage.
Makes sense.
Sounds like
Okay.
if I get that, if it allows me with the chanting chances,
Mm.
So do you just carry just like basic oak logs when you go down, and then you convert them as you see, or do you actually like build them into?
The particular type of log doesn't matter, but yeah, I typically bring logs down.
I don't know if it's a testament to my to the fluctuation of my voice or how comfortable B is with me, but I put my daughter to sleep by doing that reading section. What the heck? The drowned? What are you doing here?
They drowned.
Yeah, I'm literally in town just gathering wood, and then this thing is hitting me for above average numbers.
Yeah, they do that, and they like to go onto land if they get enough time to. The jerks that they are. You know what? I want.
Justin, do you have any plans on coming to the West anytime shortly? Or at least within the year?
That would imply that I had the money.
So, okay. That tells me when I'm gonna see if
Right.
I don't know if I'll be able to come to you before flying out. But I'll see what I can do, hoping that when we fly to Thailand, how we could just have a little bit of a layover in Kansas City. Right? Kansas City?
Wichita. So
Wichita,
a
yeah.
little bit further off.
A little further. Oh,
Well, Kansas City is more east, but
where's east? Okay.
bit
That's
further
actually the one that when I was going to training, they said actually just go to, I think it was Kansas City. They told me to go to. That's like the bigger
Yeah, that's-
airport.
off. Whichever one's the bigger one, because
Yeah, we spent so much flying there, and then it was like after that we're told actually it's a lot cheaper just to, fly there and just when you rent a car, just drive a couple hours. It was ridiculously expensive to fly to training.
I need more iron. I probably should have made an iron farm or stick farm.
Are you seeing any more iron in your diets?
No, Justin. There are ways to play this game other than just you're making automations every time something comes up.
Well, yeah, that's true.
he,
Either
he,
that or find a
he
mine
has
shaft.
trained himself for this with Factoria and Satisfactory, and all the other Minecraft mods he played. Like, it's going against the grain of his skin.
And ironically, though, like a lot of the technical Minecraft side is about automation. Yeah. So yeah, double-edged sword on that one.
I remember when you were playing a mod where you start off with I feel like it was like a nebulous void and like one thing, and then you have to take that one thing, make it to the next thing.
Skyblock.
Oh, that's not even a mod thing. That's sometimes just what people like to do with Minecraft.
Though admittedly, modded Skyblock is far more popular than just Skyblock.
Yeah, I guess so. Like old Skyblock used to be pretty, and then
Oh good. I do have a spare hopper.
So that weapons mod,
I do have
David, you missed that. Is there any other mods that you're like, man, that was a great mod? It sucks whoever was working on it no longer.
Yes, the back rooms. Relatively simple dimension mod. Yeah, admittedly, sort of the one where you explore it once and then there's not a ton of reason to go back.
Yeah.
But
Is that
Which
based
weapon
on,
mod
is that
were you
based on the more popular YouTube video, or is it a YouTube video based upon the Minecraft mod? What
the
came
YouTube
first?
video, and the Minecraft mod are both based on the original, yeah, creepypasta. The back
Oh,
rooms.
it's based upon a creepypasta. Oh, not surprised.
Or stuff. The other thing I like that no one else really cares about anymore.
Yeah. Sorry, could you repeat that, Justin?
Oh, I was saying like no one else in this group really cares about horror stuff outside of Ben. All the creepypasta and all that.
If nothing else, I find horror stuff to be a good source of inspiration.
Oh yeah, they're
I mean, I find it interesting. It's just, I guess I don't seek it out though.
Mhm.
My efficiency mind, like if I don't go searching unless I'm searching for a goal. That makes sense. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to why I care about automation and maybe a little much shows. Let's see. To detriment. But yeah, you mentioned David that was talking about a weapon mod that got discontinued.
Yes, I believe it was just it was either Mo weapons or someone's armory, one of the two.
Like
But
the Flans stuff? Or no, I guess
actually,
that's still
might be
made.
Flans. Yeah, remember?
Flans was really old. So that might
That might be the one. Uh,
1.12.2.
not Flan's gun mod. Maybe this isn't the one.
I mean, Flans was kind of like it turned into guns, but had a lot of other stuff before the guns got really popular because they were like subparts of each other's stuff. But
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the one.
because they used to have like hammers and javelins and stuff for the old versions of them.
Maybe, but not having much luck finding those old versions.
Yeah. But I kind of get what you mean. It was like all the like medieval, like vanilla style weapons back before there was the current weapon system.
Yeah, it introduced the musket and the blunderbuss. Both.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely feels like it.
Yeah, along with the various other weapons. I also rather like the pike. But yeah. As for the muskets, crafting the ammo required a smidgen of infrastructure because it took iron, gunpowder, and paper to make I think 8 shots. And reloading took like 2.5 seconds. It was pretty egregious. And the thing's accuracy wasn't great beyond like 16 blocks or so, but it would blow a hole straight through a zombie. So
Yeah, I like that. I don't want. Yeah, if I'm playing anything, I don't want anything to be like. I want work towards being powerful.
Dot. Around.
Okay. Now I've
And
got
then there
my when poisoned, gain speed.
of old mods that are discontinued. Thaumcraft especially the older versions of Thaumcraft was very much the time.
What is
So,
Zomcraft?
yeah, Thaum. Yeah, Thaum.
Oh.
Yeah, meaning magic. Thaumcraft 3 in particular was the version that I really got into.
Hmm.
It was a good magic mod. Um, basically made it so that every block in the game had mystic aspects associated with it. So like, stone had a bunch of earth aspect, cobblestone had earth aspect and a bit of destruction aspect, well, entropy aspect, and so on and so forth, with various aspects. Well, with 6 primary aspects and then a whole bunch that were yeah, made of various component aspects.
Hmm.
Yeah, doing magic in that largely composed of gathering items that had the aspects you needed, melting it down, and then using those aspects in recipes that made neat stuff.
Hmm.
It also had like this whole system of like mystical, yeah, the mystical nodes that you could siphon magic from to power your wands, and some of them had weird effects like yeah, changing its aspects over time, stealing aspects from other nearby nodes, or
Hmm.
being black holes that eat everything nearby to empower themselves. Um, I spent considerable blood and blood, time, and effort figuring out how to corral and harness those for useful ends. Because if you fed them, they would become very productive nodes that could charge many, many wands.
Oh wait, it wasn't Flans. It was the one very next to. Hold on. Falcon's weapon mod.
That's the one.
Flans
Almost
was
certainly.
m- military side of the weapon stuff.
She barely got any media.
It's almost definitely. Well,
Oh.
that's not a very good phrase.
I was looking on the old Minecraft forums.
Ah, yep. This is the one. Oh, that is a blast from the past. 1.7.10. Yeah, that one's long dead.
In an ironic fashion, that is one of the most updated legacy versions of Minecraft for mods.
Oh yeah, I know. A lot of mods just kind of stopped there.
Oh, that too, but I meant like people still update their mods for that version.
I know.
Too.
They stopped at that spot and they just kept developing for that version. Nah, shifting leaves are what I
Ooh,
need.
hold on. Falcon's weapon mod legacy. That's one. Oh, the dev had a crazy moment and ported it to modern Minecraft. Falcon's weapon mod exists for 119.4
I see.
and 1.21.
Sounds like I might need to shuffle all of my stuff forward a little bit.
Oh, there's a 119.2 version also.
Isn't that nice little trim?
Fabric. I'll link you this.
That sounds like one I might need to add some crossover support for.
How did I? Excuse me. How did I post an E for the link? How did I do this? There we go.
Okay, I am currently performing an experiment. I don't know if it's going to work. So, one of the quirks of chest cavity is if you remove one but not both of your kidneys, you'll periodically suffer a little bit of poison, but not enough to damage
That's
you.
happened to me. It will go.
Yes.
It'll be like it'll just trigger off and on, but I'll never do any damage. Like
Yeah, because it just the duration's not long enough to manage to
Oh.
get you.
Yes, VQ?
But
Hey, you d-
Wow.
What the heck?
using that perk to repeatedly trigger a contingency charm with the poison status trigger and a speed potion reactor. Going to see if this is sustainable. Because the speed does last a long time, and so it gives the maintenance charm plenty of time to work.
Hmm.
But it is still 30 durability every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because while you get 4 charges out of a contingency charm, those charges last a quarter of the time of the potion that was put in.
Oh yeah, I wanted to XP for levels, which is why I was doing this entire pre-farm thing, was to have excessive amount of sticks to sell to a villager.
If this works, that gives me a source of ongoing speed that doesn't need to come out of my organ slots, meaning I can use those elsewhere. And indeed, it's a tactic that requires that I be missing one of my kidneys, meaning that's another freed up slot.
So I'm guessing do inner chests hold a lot?
Not
No,
really.
ender chests hold a single chest worth.
Okay.
What makes them valuable is that all ender chests contain the same inventory for the person looking at it.
Hmm.
So,
And player specific.
yep, it's essentially your stash.
I can do an obsidian chest upgrade. Huh. I guess that's after diamond.
I think that just makes the chest blast proof.
Okay.
But I mean, at the point you have a diamond chest, that's probably a worthwhile investment.
Yeah. Beacon. Huh. So
We
that
would have to
If you want
defeat
one of
a
those,
boss called
you
the
have to
Wither.
defeat a boss. Yeah.
But
Okay.
beacons are very nice to have, and we could certainly build one in the town.
What do beacons do?
Beacons provide some beneficial stats affecting a large AoE.
Oh.
They have to be built on top of a pyramid of valuable metal, though, so it's a significant investment to have one going.
So we have to like make blocks of like diamonds.
Blocks of iron, emerald, gold, or diamond are acceptable materials for the pyramid.
I have tons of gold. If we want to put our gold together.
Well, you know what? I need XP anyway, so I'm going to go harass pigs in the nether and
Well,
acquire more gold.
Yes, what I'm working on is just getting obsidian, so it's like it'll be like it's a town buff. Is it like any kind of buff? You can tell
You
what
get a list to choose from.
There's a list of options.
Okay.
Regeneration or speed are probably going to be the most tempting.
I'll
Speed
say
because that means you get around town faster. Regeneration
is regeneration. But I see speed. We have more than enough meat.
Nice shot, Justin.
Huh? Wait, did I do a shot?
Yeah, you took out that ghast.
Do you need me to bounce?
I was not there.
Oh.
How
Alright. Nice shot, Charlie. My bad.
Honestly, I'm excited that I found out that Falcon's weapon mod has got a
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm ecstatic that one got updated. It's such a good weapon mod. Uh-oh.
So first, let's make sure everyone agrees on any mods we're add because we need to be fair with our current conversation. So so the weapon mod will be like vanilla plus, right?
Oh yes, that's part of the reason why I love it.
Okay, and so are you hearing this, Broheim? Are you? And so what kind of weapons does it add?
Everything from spears, maces, and warhammers, and to various swords to muskets and blunderbusses.
Okay.
Like old school ones.
Yeah. Basically, a broad variety of medieval to low industrial weapons.
And Broheim, how
Well,
do you feel about this weapon, this mod?
low industrial might not be quite the
Okay.
right way to phrase that, but
So Broheim,
colonial era
I mean,
weapons,
to be
you can say
Wasn't
civil
muskets
Civil
and, like,
War,
gunpowder
civil.
weapons
I mean
thing back
Revolutionary era.
yeah.
actually wasn't muskets and stuff a thing even when
Yeah, muskets
armor
were
and stuff
We're like
Revolutionary era.
pilgrims era.
Yes.
All right,
I feel
so
like I remember
I
hearing they
think
were actually like for that.
we're the four usual servers. So
All right.
we're in unison. So I'm guessing on your swords you're gonna have to do some adjustments also with your current mod.
If I want compatibility, yeah, I would need to essentially, yeah, I would need to yeah, make weapons out of the out of my materials as well to make them compatible with it.
Yeah.
I mean the mods can coexist just fine. You just wouldn't be able to like make a badet cutlass or the like.
Yeah.
Not until I added cross mod support for that.
What about enchantments?
Enchantments would be just fine.
Okay. So even your enchantments will be just fine?
Yeah, because the targeting parameters for them,
Or generic enough.
yeah, they're generic enough that that modded weapons will catch them.
Cool. I think she's just tired, love. She was out.
Because like the targeting condition for a lot of them is like a sword type weapon rather than sword specifically.
Okay. And so I'm guessing like blunderbuss and stuff like that get into the range compartment.
Yeah, blunderbusses, I believe, have the same enchantment potential as a bow or crossbow.
Okay.
Probably a crossbow. They're slightly different pools.
Yeah. I'm curious which one because those weapons
She
and stuff
did
exist
sit
for
here while I read
crossbow
3 sections. So
in the Minecraft. Oh, it's nearly day at this point. Mr. Villagers, is there anyone ready to be Fletchers?
all right, 20 for obsidians until I get efficiency. That's good enough. How much does it take to make
Yes.
a beacon?
A beacon does not take very much obsidian.
Okay. So I also want a
The-
couple when I'm in the Nether. I can make a portal.
You will need 10 for a portal at
Okay.
minimum.
How much is a
Just-
beacon?
3.
3. So okay, so I have more than enough
Yeah,
for
'cause I
a
think you
random
just
portal
need
in the
the-
beacon.
Yeah, I think you just need the obsidian for the base of the recipe. Yeah, if I recall correctly, it's 5 glass, the nether star, yeah, and 3 obsidian.
Yeah, that sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Question is, I need to look here. How do you make another star?
You don't.
You do not. You get it from a boss fight.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Is that the Wither boss I was hearing you talk about earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Incidentally, my arena is specifically designed to support having such fights with minimal collateral damage.
So do we summon the boss?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you find him in the no bad zone. Hell, but not hell, because we don't say HEW hockey sticks around here. We're not those kind of people.
You would need to acquire the materials to summon the Nether. I mean, the
Oh.
Wither in the Nether.
Okay.
But Justin got lucky and already managed to acquire at least the hard part of that.
What is the material? Because now I'm starting to.
You need
At least
you
one
need
set.
wither skeleton skulls. They drop like from 1 out of every 40 wither skeletons. It's
Okay.
a grind.
You think with my looting +3, I'll have a higher chance of it dropping?
It would improve the
Much
odds
higher.
from a 2.5% chance to a 5.5% chance.
Okay.
Still a grind, but less of one.
Okay, I have killed skeletons, and so if it's just a simple of grinding, then I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I killed
if you-
wither skeletons.
They're the
Yeah.
dark ones that make
we
your
want
to-
time suck.
Of course, if we want to make multiple beacons, we would need to
Need more.
do it again.
Does it give
but,
more loot than just the star?
Typically no, but it does have unique organs that it drops because of chest. Well, unique organ singular that it drops because of
Okay.
chest cavity.
Okay.
Yeah, a specialized muscle.
Okay. Ooh.
Similarly, the Ender Dragon also has unique organs, a whole set of them. Personally, I think the dragon's digestive system is the most fun one because it makes it so that the crystals that are the dragon's core game mechanic become interactable by you too.
Hmm. All right, so I got the material. Do you think your arena is ready? Do you think we're just ready as a group to fight?
In
Apa.
truth, we're probably a little over equipped,
Okay.
but given that it will be our first time fighting it, that's probably better than being under equipped. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. You're unmuted, my friend.
I'm getting lots of soul sand for the water boss.
All right, we only
And
need
I'm also
4,
using some for
but-
my base.
Okay. Yeah, we're
That's
going to
why
need
I'm
4 of it to
glad-
summon the Wither. The rest of it's all gonna be usable for whatever.
And that's why I'm grabbing like, I don't know, 3 stacks or something.
Did you follow my
No.
No?
Why are you asking for every time that
I was wondering. I took time making that bridge. I was wondering if you used it, friend. Why does that anger you?
I'm not angry. I'm just like, bruh. Like you ask every time.
How did
so-
you get out here?
It's nice to see all that work I took just grinding through the nether just for it to be used.
Yeah, that wasn't that
love
David
it.
who built
I'm
the
not-
bridge?
David has his bridge and I have my little like land bridge.
Oh, you made a bridge. That's probably like, oh, I am so proud of my bridge.
Hey, a good bridge is a good bridge. I'm not going to knock him for being proud of its bridge.
Okay, yeah, you're right. A bridge is really helpful.
Does mine just like I just love it 'cause it feels like on theme with like Zelda. I mean not Zelda, my gosh, Lord of the Rings. And like when they're running away from the Balrog. It just looks like that running across.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, but the contingency charm is not keeping up on its own. Maybe if I give it unbreaking. Is that
Oh yeah, I put unbreaking on my maintenance charm. There is mending over there with the villagers.
Oh well, yeah, it's my contingency charm of on poison gain speed that
I
I'm fiddling
see.
with.
Goy.
Yeah.
This pickaxe is insane.
What pickaxe is it?
Unbreaking efficiency 2 transite.
Oh, nice.
The power
Very
of
nice.
enchanting, Corey.
Did you wax it immediately after making it?
No.
No.
I don't even have any yet. Stupid bees won't produce fast
I was
enough.
like the moment that I think you were saying, David, that if you immediately wax it once it's made, it's like that same value as netherite. I was like, I wonder if someone's going to take advantage of that after hearing that.
Oh well.
I'm fine with mine being
I didn't even
20%
hear
a shovel.
I didn't even hear
after
when
all.
you said that, David.
Well, I mean, frankly, I prefer mine being 20% shovel as well. It makes it a very flexible multi-tool.
Yeah, that's what I like it that way too. It turns out it's pretty
I am probably going to need to apply at least a little bit of a nerf to transite, because netherite tier that early on is a bit nuts.
common. Yeah,
but-
you're right.
What about it makes it netherite tier that early on?
Straight up has netherite stats.
Oh, I see.
It's just it normally doesn't feel like it because it squanders those stats quite aggressively.
Yeah. Is that just pretty much part of you started with a netherite base and just went off that?
Yep. Because, well, long story short, the backstory of why I ended up making that material was I saw a stupid post online about, like, this is transite and it's better than netherite and yen 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 yen, basically just dragging politics into the game, and my response to that was, that's stupid. Don't just make it you have big numbers. Make it do something on theme. Here, let me show you how it's done.
Now,
And so Transite was born.
The rage bait of a low effort.
Yeah, basically.
oh come.
Okay.
All right. Is there any like Minecraft mod that is so just unexpected left field that you're just like, what you like legitimately surprised you up and down, but you thought was genius? Not like poop emoji, just left field, you know. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I get what you're asking, but
Yeah, you were just not expecting it, but then then you came across like this is just genius gold.
Would it, in that case, David, you might have to think back of some, like when you were very new to craft, that sort of mindset. When you were also new.
I don't know. That's just a random question I thought. See if there's anything that just like really
Oh yeah,
just surprised you.
it's a good question. We're just very veteran, so we have to think a lot about
Mm-hmm.
it.
Why is there poop blocks in my inventory? This sucks.
Poop blocks?
It's dirt.
I mean, he's not wrong.
yeah.
well, there's a lot of mods that I think are very good. There's, I suppose, not that many that like had a premise that caught me off guard. Oftentimes, mods tend to be very, I guess, straightforward in their nature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the Twilight Forest. It has the Twilight Forest. It is a forest.
Yeah.
And it's a good mod, don't get me wrong. Or, this is the Aether. It's the Sky Realm. It's basically heaven. It's heavenly. But, still dangerous because
Yeah.
this is a game.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that's what we were talking about, like people being caught out of left field by the mod existing.
Mm-hmm.
The response I actually kind of get fairly often with, well, chest cavity and lava Java.
Hmm. Like this responds to pretty much your mods because it's a very left field
I-
idea.
I guess the things that motivate me into actually making the mods tend to be relatively left field stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Okay.
My villager disappeared on me.
His response is, "I am the left field."
I guess. I'm sorry if that's a kind of disappointing
No, it's not.
response.
No, I asked a question,
Mm.
not expecting a certain answer, just seeing where that question leads. Because that's how usually all my questions are, is just seeing how your response is.
Fair enough. There's a smidgen of server latency at the moment.
Oh, is there?
Only a smidgen. But
Hmm.
I can tell because the time it takes for my hover enchantment to kick in is varying.
Hmm.
Makes it a little bit harder to use the mobility tool.
Ah. Hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't much, but it was excellent.
Is it better than a free to pay server?
So much. Free-to-play servers are not good. The main draw for them is just it's not on your system, so you can leave it going.
Hmm.
Okay, so if we're wanting to take on the Wither, sounds like we've got everything we need for it.
Besides,
I'm going to recommend that you either go to your chests or head to the Nether for a bit to acquire a withered spine or a set of withered ribs.
Oh,
Because they will greatly reduce the threat posed by the withered debuff.
I'm
I
such
have
a
some.
I'm such a silly goose. I
You
tossed
just
it
crunched
because
them?
yeah, because I was
Oh yeah,
like,
they're normally terrible.
like wither. Like, why do I want to cast wither on myself? That's how I read wither.
Yeah, that's fair. It's
Because it's like putting rotten on you. Like, it just does not sound like it'll have a good.
yeah, maybe I need to tweak the description there. Like maybe resist wither.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's I read yeah, so I read it as like other skeletons or zombie organs in that department.
And it's pretty consistently been one of the effects that that tends to confuse people, which is a sign that I do need to tweak it.
Which you just know, like that's just the beginning of good communication. Is if they're not understanding what you're trying to say,
Mhm.
it's on the communicator, not on the receiver. Generally speaking.
I wish I could say that for myself. I don't.
Yeah, with the skeletons can.
All right, I'll make my way up.
I have a couple.
I want to hit you with this axe. Ah.
Ow.
Although there might be some issues with me in this fight. There might be a little bit of a spreading of debuffs around.
Well, those didn't produce what I needed. On to the next. Oh, uh-oh. Someone died here. There's actually some pretty important equipment. I'm going to scoop as much as I can.
I recommend maintenance charms, Char. Do you have any? I have a lot of iron back at
Where do
home.
you go?
Keep your things alive. I
Now
recommend
I'm-
make yourself a maintenance charm. Heck, I'm feeling generous. You can even make 2 maintenance charms with it if you want to. I think I have enough iron for that.
I think.
I'm fine.
That's not all the items that were here, but I think that's all the ones that they survived long enough. For me
How
to
else
get.
will you repair it?
Okay, so I'm going to get to cover to pick through this stuff. So I seem to have recovered somebody's corpse. On it was a half-used Volt sword,
Oh, that's you.
a sort of fire aspect and smite,
That is
a
Charlie's.
chestplate of glass. Ah, I see.
That was the cause of a rage quit.
I see. And he even had a wither skeleton skull on him.
Oh, nice.
And some withered bones, which are what I came here for. So
There you go.
that just works out. Okay, unfortunately, I wasn't able to recover all of your stuff. While I was trying to recover it, I was receiving fire from a blaze, so I suspect a fair bit of it burnt. But I did what I could.
Hey, that's better than expecting it to be all lost into time.
Hmm.
But I don't know if he still wants it.
Well, it is his stuff, so.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can make, yes. I can compress things now.
Here you gassed. I am going to get my fun bounty time organ out of you eventually.
All right, so if I remember right, now I can compress these. I can compress ores, right? Yes. Perfect. That's a win right there.
Yes. That's my fun bouncy time organ. How fortunate.
Oh, ah. Okay, blew far enough. Nothing.
And a fireproof intestine. Alright. I'll take it. Right. Doesn't do a ton with only one instance. Still something.
18 emeralds. Okay.
Yeah, having slightly floatier physics plays well with the hover enchantment. So, shoot! I shot with the wrong bow. That's the airline bow, not my crossbow.
I guess you're floating up further away.
It would appear that I'm going to engage the Gaston melee now.
On guard. If only if you had the spear in that mod. Because that will be a fun combo.
Unfortunately, airline's really bad at that because the airline effect ends if the projectile disappears because say it hits something.
Yeah.
If you had a crossbow of piercing and airline, you could make it work better.
Mm.
But admittedly, it would take a bit of doing. Just because of the technical underside of things.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be really neat if an arrow that you're tethered to hit a target, then the tether was transferred to the target. I'd probably need to rewrite a decent chunk of how tethered works to do that, though. Might be worth it. It would be neat.
Does that be cool if like spear damage equates how fast you go? I don't know what spears damage are in that game.
Spears don't do that inherently, but the jousting damage enchantment, which is for tridents, shovels, and weapons like spears, does exactly that.
Because that'll be just a fun, very dangerous combo.
It's called Dragoon Tactics.
Yep.
All right. Charlie, I am going to place a chest outside your house that's going to contain as much of your stuff as I could manage to recover.
So you need to wheat.
Do you still need deep slate?
No, I've finally got my fill of it.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Cause like I'm just down here, I found a pretty productive cave, and so it's been lots of iron, just lots of material. So.
Okay. I think that's all your stuff. All right, Charlie. Your chest has been left behind. By the way, I see that you had a set of fire resistance potions. Consider brewing those with some redstone before you drink them. It'll make them last a lot longer.
Three heads. And what was I gonna grab one in addition?
All right. I'm ready for the wither fight when you guys are.
All right, I'll start making my way up.
Why do I have? Oh yeah, let's trade
Right.
paper.
Justin, would you be willing to use your wither skills for this?
Yeah.
I don't think we have any others. Well, at least not enough elsewhere. Okay, so the way this fight goes is fairly straightforward. When the wither spawns, it's going to fly around and shoot exploding skulls at us.
Okay.
If you're caught in the explosions, you will be inflicted with wither. Or, actually, no, I think the explosions don't inflict wither. It's if you take a direct hit from the skulls that you get withered.
Okay.
Yeah, he will
I
continue this for a
probably
bit.
should,
Occasionally, he'll shoot a glowing skull. Get away from it. Those explode in a much more deadly way than the normal ones do.
Hold on, I need to grab the
Yep.
withered ribs that I have because that is why I went
I'm
to my
hoping.
house. And I forgot about
Yeah.
it.
Once the wither gets to it gets to half health, yeah, it will stop strafing and will engage in melee. At that point, it's basically just a damage race. Yeah, hit it till it dies.
Okay.
Guess I don't have withered ribs anymore.
Do you guys have any wither for me? Because I don't have any. Like I said,
Yeah, one sec.
I tossed them to the sea, the lava sea. All right, it's time for me to go straight because then again I forgot which way I came in. So let's do this.
Yeah. Oh my, there's a ton of items dropped.
Are you
over there.
near base,
The heck?
Corey?
I'm low.
Ah, it's the bamboo farm. That's why there's a ton of items on the ground.
Yeah, sorry, I need to fix that sooner though. Well, let me know when you're back at home so that way we can do the fight.
Yep, I'm making my way.
Because I've got a chest opener and those withered ribs in my inventory waiting
Okay.
for you.
Thank you.
While you do that, I'll go trade in some sticks.
I think at this point we're all kind of heading towards the arena.
Actually, yeah. True. How far away are you from home?
Once I get to fresh air, I'll let you know.
Probably shouldn't be using my piercing crossbow for the... Ah, all my crossbows are piercing. Never mind. Turns out I have a preferred way to use these things.
Gasp. Who would have thought?
That's
I'll
hilarious.
just need to check my sight lines.
All right. Oh, this looks like that's funny. Oh, come on. All right, let's just keep going up.
Yeah. So once we're all in the arena, Justin, could you toss me the weather building supplies? The
Yeah.
fountain in the middle here is set up so that if you spawn the wither in a particular way, it won't manage to break anything.
I see. I'll go find some soul sand.
Ignore the ores. Ignore the ores. Just keep digging past them. Ignore them. Just keep digging. Just keep digging. Digging. Just keep digging.
I think I've got
Digging.
some soul sand of my own. So if you're
Alright, I
like going to the
collected
nether,
4
to
soul sand.
oh, okay.
I had like 8 in chests.
I have sand if you need sand. Not soul sand though, if that's true. Actually looking for.
I have a soul.
It sounds like we got the soul sand now.
Have you fought
Alright.
the wither before, Char? Oh, in creative. Okay. So this is a new experience actually trying.
Fortunately, it seems I have lost the looting librarian, so I will have to do that.
Oh, hello, sand.
Looting's not going to do us
That's
much
enough.
here.
Yeah. I just was thinking that because I passed by the table area. The arena. I don't want to go through the... Oh, there's no entrance for the fighter entrance. Just the front.
That is the fighter entrance.
Oh.
Yeah, the side ramps take you up to the spectator stands. The central ramps take you to get to a fighter's box.
Ah.
Yeah, leaving the arena is done by dropping into the trough along the edge. Yeah, and there are exits down there.
See. Here you go. For you and or Corey to do the summoning itself.
Ooh. I imagine once I find a skull, I might try finding him again. So
Unfortunately, you need 3 skulls, which is why it's such a grind.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me, sir. This is our arena.
He dropped a pearl.
I am surprised by that.
Do you guys get pillage or something?
Oh, no, just an Enderman popped up in the arena.
Nice.
And then he was knocked
I
into
have
the
yet to
trench.
get a player kill on this sword.
I see.
Is that also a trophy? Part of the
Yes.
trophy?
Players do in fact contribute 1 trophy. It's not per player, it's just players as a whole. But yes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's trophy collecting. Why would PvP not provide a trophy? Anyways.
Air, come on. Because I'm digging my way up out of the deep bowels. What's up, Logan? What's up? Coming over? Minecraft.
Not too late for him to
Minecraft?
hop in if he wants to join us for the Wither fight. Actually, going to be right back. I just realized I'm very low on ammo, and it'd be a shame to run out mid-fight.
Do you need some arrows?
I was going to just grab a stack from my stockpile. It'll be quick.
Well, thanks, Phantom, for giving me a bunch of rotten organs. Lovely.
Yeah, if at all possible, we want to keep this fight in the arena. If it spills out into the rest of town, who knows what damage it'll cause.
Should we have a roof for this fight? Of any form?
All right.
No,
I'm on
because
fresh
the
air.
weather destroys blocks on physical contact. A roof would do us very little good.
Alright, and if he starts flying upwards too far, I'll believe in your floating melee
All right.
skills.
I'm here, going home.
Alright, I've got 2 stacks of ammo now. Should be a bit better.
I
Anyway,
looked at that plains mod too much because I'm just imagining finding the wither with a pipe. This.
oh, I'm definitely wanting to put that one in 2.
All right. Let's.
Only
I'm
if
gonna
we can have a dogfight with a dragon and it's fine. Maybe if it's if
oh,
it's only the second engagement with it, but just
it's definitely
once.
not for this mod pack. But wouldn't it be? It would be really cool to get like a biplane with the rotary cannon on the front and actually have a dogfight with the Ender Dragon.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Two-seater biplane, the person in the passenger seat is the one doing the gunning.
Yes. Well, biplanes I think typically just
You have one in your inventory?
had
Oh yeah.
a rigid gun on the front.
Oh
For the
yeah,
overworld
maybe.
one.
But the second person would still be able to wield either a bow or a gun. Their job would probably be taking out the crystals. And taking strafing shots.
Muskets and biplanes.
Oh, that sounds gloriously ridiculous. Oh, that was a waste of a pearl. Well, anyways,
All right. I am
don't-
here.
don't
Just-
drink that until the fight starts. But
Is it
you're not here till you're here.
Is it holy water? All right.
No, it's a potion of speed. I only had 2 spares, but
So you got the you. If you have a chest cavity, or should I bring my own?
I've already got the chest opener.
Oh, you got the chest. All right. All right.
I drank.
No,
the
right
potion.
before battle. That's what he said. Just don't get
It might be a
don't
minor
get the
hazard
final
if you didn't
kill
get
with the
withered
void
at height.
sword.
Thankfully, because the wither drops the star in a special way. Even
Uh-huh.
if the sword was working correctly, it would not destroy the wither star.
All right. Right
need to press
clicking
the
that
button
door
to
does not
open the
open it.
door.
Do I have to come up this way?
You
Okay.
you have to right click the button, but
Oh, the
that-
button.
not you're not supposed to go into the trench.
He's out of the arena. He's disqualified.
Yep, ringed out.
Oh, it's like that's funny. If you get ringed out, that's funny. There's no way back up after you ringed. Ah!
All right. There's 1 skull left to put on the wither. You want to do the honors?
Can I
I
chesty?
suppose also. Yep.
Let me chesty first. Is that? Oh, that's a wither skull. Okay.
Okay. Get the items are right in front of you.
Oh, thank you.
Need to get them.
Okay. There's a skull. So this is the arena.
This is the arena,
So it goes. Okay. So like right on the top.
and then you're going to want to get some distance. Yep.
Is that the right spot?
No.
No.
No, on
It
top, not the
is
front.
Not the top.
Can I not? Oh.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I forgot that was an exploding axe. Sorry, let me reassemble.
Oh my god, really messing
I got.
My apologies.
Does it have to be this way with water and obsidian, or that's just for cool factor?
Cool factor, and to prevent it from devastating the arena because it explodes very violently when it spawns.
Ah,
So once you place the last skull, and it does need to go in that spot at the top, you're going to be best off just standing on the rim, jumping and putting it in.
in the middle, right?
On
Oh
the
my
very no, that's
gosh.
on the front,
What I
on
do-
the top.
Thank you. Okay, so just. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yep, okay, get clear, get clear.
So don't hit it. Don't swing
Why
at
is
it.
there a spider here?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
And the fight's begun.
Oh.
Oh, it still damaged the part of the arena with the first explosion,
I see.
and it is
Oh.
flying pretty high.
Yep, this part of the fight, ranged weapons are important.
Isn't it fun just to have phantoms in the mid boss fights? It's
I'm used to carrying my bow, but my bow has cabin, so it's not a good idea.
Yeah, you don't want that coming back down over town. Oh, he hit half. Briefly.
Oh, I don't. My buttons are all over the place.
Oh, I should heal. All right.
We got him. Okay,
Hey, I
don't know
got a
who picked up
trophy
the
for it.
star.
I did it. Went straight into my inventory.
Oh, nice. And you said you got the trophy?
Yep.
So
Nice.
you're
And now it is
super
in charge of
slow,
support.
but you're going to have all the strength.
All right. Well, we won.
Woohoo!
Looks like I need to do a bit of repairs and adjustments to my arena.
GG.
And then, I guess, Corey, use the star so that you can find somewhere to build the beacon.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
I'm
Why
somehow
did-
did not get a withered in that fight.
Maybe I need. Maybe the. Yeah, I think it needs to be a bit deeper. Actually, surprisingly, it managed to damage one of the blocks that was underwater.
Hmm.
Huh.
I think it might have.
Ah, the
just
corner
been
piece.
peeking out. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I want to swap out those corner pieces with Obby. Okay.
Given the fact that it had like only a small bits from outward, a little bit, makes
Yep.
me think it was poking slightly out of the
Yeah.
water. So just stray rays hit it.
Yeah, I think it was up a little higher than I expected.
Oh, double.
Which is why I'm
You're
going to want to-
dueling Vold. So is Vold stronger than Nether? Netherite?
Vold has substantially higher stats than Netherite because it's supposed to have that whole drawback of not getting you any loot.
Okay.
I am very happy about this Wither Rose. I have plans for this thing.
From what I understand is people want loot, so I imagine that's the reason why we're not rocking Vold equipment. At least for me.
Correct. I like mana.
All right, so time to make
All in all, I think that fight went pretty well.
the beacon.
Yeah.
So I need
not-
obsidian.
Having 4 people hammering the thing sure helps. Probably the coolest, if perhaps the most regrettable wither fight I ever had was one where I tried to fight on a big tower, but yeah, it had completely blown out the ceiling when it spawned. I had access to a glider in that mod pack, and so and so I didn't plummet to my death. But instead, it turned it into essentially a multi-stage fight where the first phase of it was me flying around the tower trying to dodge skulls that were, of course, blowing giant holes in the side of my tower. While attempting to return fire and whittle the thing down. It was a cool fight. I just wish it didn't do so much damage to my tower.
I like REI. I think like kind of like what draws me away is when I have to constantly like alt tab and Google everything. But this makes it like a very friendly interface.
REI is one of those mods that I believe even if you are really, really opposed to modding, you should still make your Minecraft modded for that specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the basic recipe book still doesn't cut it even to this day.
You know, REI is just such a good recipe book.
Yeah. It is a classic, too.
Oh, it gone through so many iterations. Like, I think the original version was TMI, too many items.
Yeah, that just only gave you the items. That was just a cheat menu at that point.
So make sure to read each one. Like the ender means you can't touch water. Okay, yeah, that's why. Like stuff like ender, I have for just for nether. Like I have a chest in the nether just for things that.
Oh, I suppose I should run this by you guys before I add it while making the changes to the mod pack. I had forgotten to add lava java to the mod pack.
Okay.
So I do intend to correct that with the new version, unless you guys have objections.
Are you okay with him adding lava java, Broheim? Did you hear Charlie?
I did not.
You can ask him again. Oh, I don't know what. There you
go. What does it do?
Lava Java is one of my mods. It adds coffee shops to the nether.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I want lots of coffee in Minecraft.
All right, so Broheim and I have to go.
All right.
The beacon's made. We can definitely put gold under after.
Hey, Corey.
Yeah.